So anyway, well, so tell me about the
That'll be
kidney.
funny when
Tell me
it-
about
when it
tell me
erupts.
about the kidney transplant. When was that? When you first
Well, the
did it?
kidney transplant program really started around 1974, and we really did not have a transplant program at really any big institutions, usually at the big cities like Dallas and Houston and New York City and Mayo Clinic. And the University of Florida, we had a very aggressive vascular surgeon who wanted to get into the transplant program. No, don't worry, it's all clean. And we had a very aggressive general surgeon there who wanted to start the transplant program. Of course, the urology group was on board with it because we had to be. There was no kidney transplant surgery without a qualified vascular surgeon, qualified nephrologist, people to follow the patients post-transplant, a hematologist to follow the rejection phenomenon that happened. And back in those days, you have to remember that we had blood typing and screening and some very primitive tissue typing, but we could not achieve the closeness of, or the anti-rejection rates that they're achieving today. I think the transplants today, because of tissue typing, DNA mapping, and everything, that they're far more sophisticated in choosing not only the donors but also the recipients. And because of jet travel, helicopter travel, and the incredibly large amount of kidneys that are available because of the drug culture in this country. It used to be the motorcycle culture is what provided the young, healthy kidneys that unfortunately the donors were brain dead. So we had to, in many cases, unhook these donors from life support because their brain was dead, and their heart was perfectly fine. And in those days, there wasn't really the heart transplant program, or the liver transplant program, or the lung transplant program. There was the corneal transplant programs, which was well up and going because of the lack of rejection in corneas and ophthalmology. And so they probably were the pioneers of the donors and young healthy eyes, corneas being transplanted. But the kidneys were right behind them, and the hearts were behind that, and livers and lungs far behind that. Total face transplants and all of the weird things you see nowadays happening are possible simply because our drugs and our matches have become much more sophisticated.